You don't want to tussle with this muscle.
Only shooting stars break the
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian. Today I'm fighting my way through my opponents with Rakdos the Muscle. Rakdos the Muscle cares about you sacrificing creatures that have a mana value, because whenever you do, whether it's to his ability or any other ability, you get to exile the top cards of a target player's library and you can play those cards until end of turn. That means that you could, say, steal your opponent's creature, sacrifice it, and then play their cards. Or if there's a card you want from your own library, you could intentionally sacrifice your own cards in order to get some impulse draw. Rakdos has this sacrifice ability that can make him indestructible. You can only activate it once per turn, but it's a great way to enable the various ways of stealing from your opponents or getting some card advantage for yourself, and also protect your commander, which is important because he is a 5-mana commander in Rakdos colors, which means that he is very, very susceptible to being killed. So you have to make sure you've got some protection on board for Rakdos the Muscle. This deck is a Rakdos Sacrifice deck, but unlike many Rakdos Sacrifice decks, this one has a focus on creatures that have a mana value. Sacrificing tokens, like from Bitter Blossom and where's my Lord Skitter, is still good, and there's many, many good cards that synergize with that. They just don't let you steal cards from Rakdos the Muscle, which, you know, obviously I want to be stealing cards. It's one of my favorite things to do in Magic the Gathering. This deck, though, is very, 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 very fun. It lets you play these, like, great recurring creatures, Rekindling Phoenix, the new Forsaken Miner, and everybody's favorite, Reassembling Skeleton, as well as some very strong sacrifice outlets like Priest of Forgotten Gods and Yawgmoth and Rankle to both get card advantage and force your opponent to deal with this strategy. I found that this deck is very fun to run, and it actually has an infinite combo in it. Yes, I know. Sometimes you end up with a combo just because the cards in your deck were already just working so nicely together. If you happen to have, just as an example, Forsaken Miner and any way to sacrifice it and deal damage upon sacrificing, and, well, way to get 1 mana back, Pitiless Plunderer, you're targeting, you're getting 1 mana, you're bringing it back, and you can just keep doing that. It's a really nice thing you can do with Rakdos Sacrifice, so we're doing it in this deck. I also found that this deck really did do well with Kaervek the Punisher. This is not a sacrifice card, but we do a lot of crimes. In fact, Rakdos can do a crime on his own, but just in general, like, sacrifice decks tend to do crimes, which Kaervek means that now we can recur our removal and other black spells from our graveyard, including creatures that we've already cast and sacrificed, as long as they're black. We also have a little bit of, like, cloning sacrifice in this deck. Reflection of Kiki Jiki lets you make a copy of something, and that copy does get sacrificed, and it does have a mana value. You can also put cards with Blitz, or cards that sacrifice themselves in this deck, or you could put in a whole bunch of active treason effects. I currently have 2 in this deck, Angrath and the Akroan War, because they're real fun to just take your opponent's stuff and then sacrifice it. We're going to take Smooth Criminal into the queue, and we're going to steal some cards and sacrifice some creatures. Slimefoot and Squee! This is a reanimation deck that's going to be putting big scary creatures into their graveyard and then bringing them back. And the way that they do that is by killing their own commander. You have to have a Saproling in play, and then Slimefoot and Squee in the graveyard, as well as whatever the other thing is that you're trying to kill. I'm just going to play the Swarm Saboteur here, since it is very good if I can hit with it once. It just keeps getting me these virus beetles. A nice sacrificable creature for our good friend Rakdos. Oh, Priest of Forgotten Gods. Such a good card. I am swarming over here. I have a pretty big choice here of, like, do I want to just get rid of the Priest of Forgotten Gods now? Do I want to play Kaervek? Do I want to play something I don't mind sacrificing? I could also save the Baleful Mastery for their commander, so they can't sacrifice it to get it into their graveyard. I'm getting rid of Priest of Forgotten Gods, even though I'm a sacrifice deck and I can kind of go toe-to-toe with putting creatures into play. This is a card that you should be afraid of. This is a very, very, very strong creature. They've got 1 extra mana now off the Mox Amber. One Blood Artist. I have a feeling they're gonna trade with the Slimefoot and Squee. Yeah, I think every Aristocrats deck wants the Priest of Forgotten Gods. So I'm a little afraid of this playing the Virus Beetle here, because then they could get the card they want to reanimate into their graveyard, so I'm not going to play it yet. I'm going to play the Reassembling Skeleton instead. And if I can get removal for the Saproling, then they can't sacrifice it to reanimate. Because right now, the Slimefoot and Squee is chilling in the graveyard. Also, this is not a crime. Just double checking yes, each opponent. Oh, they brought him back alone. They brought him back so lonely. If I had gotten the land, I would have thrown down Rakdos there. Didn't get one, so here is the Pitiless Plunderer. My creatures dying gets me treasure. And I can use those treasures to cast more creatures. Like this one. Or I should just keep bringing it back from the graveyard as long as I have the mana to do so. Reassembling Skeleton is just a classic card. I don't know when this was first printed, but I feel like ever since I started playing Magic, Reassembling Skeleton has always been there. Let me actually check. Link Reassembling Skeleton. I spelled the word link wrong. Wow, that's impressive. I typed it very poorly. Well, they're gonna sacrifice a Saproling to kill my Pitiless Plunderer. No, to kill my Blood Artist. Oh. Okay. It was an M11 and the Archenemy expansion, it looks like. Yeah, I started around M10, so that would make sense why I've always known her. She's always been here for me. Bringing out my commander. It's Rakdos the Muscle. Don't have to worry about him getting countered in this matchup. Just killed. And more specifically, I have to worry about him being exiled. Skyfisher Spider, you're a destroy effect, right? Yeah, destroy target non-land permanent. They may be looking to recur the Skyfisher Spider, killing it intentionally so they can use it as removal later. But since we can make Rakdos indestructible once a turn, that should be pretty helpful. Also, he's a 6/5 flying trample. Like, he's a big creature. This is a big demon. Journey to Eternity. Ah, making it so if this dies, it will immediately come back. I wonder if they're about to sacrifice it. They'll also get to flip over this, and it becomes this nice reanimation tool. Aztal Cave of Eternity. Notably, not a cave. Alright, so Skyfisher Spider comes back. We're gonna let it target. And I'll get an extra treasure if I sacrifice this. But I'll get to steal 4 cards if I exile this. And I want their cards. Alright, what do we get? A Forest, a Faithless Looting, Meathook Massacre, and Bloodchief's Thirst. Well, the land will certainly be nice. If I cast Faithless Looting, it'll go to their graveyard. I will have enough mana for a Meathook for 3. That's probably going to be my move here. Even though yes, they can reanimate. I think bigger question is like, do I attack first? Yeah, I'll attack first. I'm fine with Rakdos dying. Oh, okay. I would have blocked. Maybe they got something funky here. Maybe they thought that, like, oh, if I block, they'll just use the Blood Chief's Thirst. Maybe. Maybe I would. Sacrificing the Skyfisher Spider. And they can reanimate. Anything that's in their graveyard can come back. Baby Rakdos. I'm looking at the black creatures I currently have in the graveyard. With Kervek, I can commit a crime using Not Dead after all, even though I don't really want to. Just if I need to recur something from my graveyard. Ooh, Shouldered, who punishes the card draw. Llanowar Elves, and now that they have a legendary out, their Mox Amber again taps for mana. Oh, does this one say target creature you control? Oh, dang. Some scam effects don't. My bad. I can't do crime with this. Which is more criminal than anything else. Oh, I wanted it to use the forest. I should have manually tapped. I make you discard. I've been holding back on this because I was afraid of... Yeah, something like that. I was afraid of something like that. Excuse me. I'd like to see what else you have in your hand. And also in your library. What with my Wicked Virus Beetle? Yeah, he's wicked awesome. Okay, a Hoarding Broodlord. Kami Bamboo Glorobes and... Fling? Well, don't mind if I do. I could have also flung this for lethal, but... Nah. We stole a fling and we're using it to win the game. GG. Borborygmos and Fubblthup. 2 eyes, 2 brains. Probably only 1 brain cell between them, to be honest. Borborygmos and Fubblthup is a very good just teamer deck because you have a commander that draws you cards and can remove creatures by throwing lands at them. Borborygmos and Fubblthup triggers both on enter the battlefield and attack, and also has this second ability that nobody has ever activated ever. Maybe somebody did it in response to, like, their commander getting stolen, but I do not actually think I've ever seen somebody activate it. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Robber of the Rich. I imagine this is going to be just a pretty good tempo deck, running whatever this person's favorite cards are in these colors. Mine was a bit of like a teamer stompy deck for Borborygmos and Fubblthup. So far, they're playing many good aggressive cards. I don't mind it being Morbin time. When isn't it Morbin time? Oh, Gizmo in chat says that they've activated this secondary ability when they mind-slavered their opponent. Or, yeah, that's, you know what? That is a fine time to activate that ability. Just shove their commander into their library. Why not? I've got some good mana here. Gotta decide what I want to use it for. I'm gonna use it for Cruxa. That's going to draw me a card off the Morbid Opportunist. If you did that into a fetch land, you had to shuffle their cards into their deck. Their poor commander. So rude. Alright, Cruxa comes into play and sacrifices itself. They drop the Bone Crusher Giant. Nice. Blood on the Snow will be great. And I either want Jadar or Bitter Blossom here. I'm going to go for Jadar because I find that this is a really, really nice card to have with both Morbid Opportunist and Mayhem Devil, since these decayed tokens, if they attack in and aren't killed in combat, they'll draw you a card. Okay, they threw Morb back into my hand. I can also, like, just sacrifice things to Phyrexian Tower. What a good land, this Phyrexian Tower. Borborygmos and Fubblethip, if there's a land in their hand, though, is going to come out and kill Jadar. Yep, that's a Cavern of Souls. They know I don't have counter spells. And their wolf grows. Awoo! We got oodles of a woodles. I'm still 1 mana away from Blood on the Snow. Rakdos the Muscle, like, I can play it this turn. I don't really want to. I think I'd rather play something like the Rekindling Phoenix or Bitter Blossom, something with more lasting power. Or even Morbid Opportunist to try and draw a card. Nah, let's go for the Rekindling Phoenix. Sacrificing Cruxa in response with the land. Yeah, you have to put full control mode on to do that. And see, I'm lazy. Let's see how many lands they got in this hand. Oh, none that they're planning on throwing. I'm going to block with the Rekindling Phoenix because it comes back. It's a good bird. Tweet, tweet. Arcane Signet, that's some good mana. And a Racketeer Boss. If they've got creatures in their hand, they will enter the battlefield and make treasures. Oh, Rahilda's gonna make a treasure! My Elemental sacrifices itself. We get ourselves this chicken nugget. Ooh, more snow. I'll swing in for 4 in the air. Going to sacrifice you. And we're going to use Blood on the Snow to destroy all creatures. Only have 2 snow, but that's enough for me to bring back either Cruxa or Jadar. I'll bring back Jadar. They have 1 card in hand. I don't feel like I need to force them to discard it. I'd rather get this out because we have, again, Morbid Opportunist. Could play Rakdos. I do want to play my commander. It's my commander. Oh, but... No, I'm afraid of it getting countered. I'm going to play Morbid Opportunist. Swing with all of these. And I'm planning on playing the Bitter Blossom post-combat. See if we can draw land. Bitter Blossom. I know I can use the Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice the Rekindling Phoenix, but I want to keep it in bird form rather than egg form, just so they can't just throw a land with it. Oh, that's a Hullbreaker Horror. Terrifying. And it made a treasure! Hullbreaker Horrors swinging in, getting a +1/+1 counter. I will block because that's 8 damage and I only have 9 life. And I do lose a life at the start of my turn. Now they can play creatures off the top of their deck. They only have 3 mana up, and I feel like they don't have a way to protect this. Do I have any crime I can commit with this hand? Crime that would leave me with enough mana to recast Angerous Rampage. Mayhem Devil, but I don't have a great way to do it. Rakdos, I don't have enough mana. I'm going to pay a life so I can cast Rakdos the Muscle. Could I kill them with Mayhem Devil and Strider? Not this turn. But possibly I could have set that up because of Meat Hook Massacre. I may wish to leave that in the graveyard for the Croxo Escape, but I'm going to get this out here. Unfortunately, that counterspell also allowed them to bounce my token, which is what I was going to use to block. So we're dead. Now we're dead. I had a blocker. Now I don't. GG. Atali, Primal Conqueror. I think you guys know what Atali does at this point. Big dinosaur casts spells for free from both players' library and turns into a giant, poisoning, trampling, indestructible menace. Really strong. Really strong card. Okay, why did I have to click on that 5 times for it to activate? Why am I not running Captivating Crew? I'm not running Captivating Crew just because I found that I typically don't have enough mana to activate effects like that. I think that you could build a version of this deck that is focused almost entirely on the active treason effects. But because very often in Arena, your opponents are not running that many creatures, it'll be a dead card. I mean, like, it's still a 4/3, I think. But having the 4 mana activation and also needing the sacrifice available means that, yeah, it's cool, but it's also tough when it doesn't work. It's the struggle of, I think, the this meta. Let's see, I think Jadar, holding up mana for Malakir Rebirth. Or do I want to... I'll just in case hold up Sheltered's Edict. There we go. Boop. I want my Jadar alive, thank you. I'd say almost every set has some sort of active treason effect. And if people don't know what I mean, there's a card called Active Treason. It's take one of your opponent's cards. It's actually just any card on the battlefield. Comes in untapped, under your control, gets haste until end of turn. Great way to steal and sacrifice. I could play Rakdos this turn. I'm going to go for Morbid Opportunist instead. And there's a bunch of ones that are like Active Treason with a set's mechanic or makes a set's token. Some of them are really nice. Let's see what we draw. Ooh, a Phyrexian Tower. Don't mind if I do. They haven't really been ramping this game. Oh, there's ramp. Mistweaver Puck, who doubles the mana. They get a land. Oh, you played a legendary land, though. Yeah, legendary lands means you're still going to have to sacrifice one of them. Before the copy effect goes off, they technically could tap the first one. But they didn't have it. And I know what I do have. I am going to sacrifice this zombie to play Bolas's Citadel. That was a land on top. And unfortunately, I bricked bright and early by hitting 2 lands in a row. Godpharaoh's Statue is going to make my spells cost 2 more mana. That does include, by the way, things I'm casting using life from my library, which is rude. I'm still going to cast them. Prosper! Thought Distortion! Oh, it's all creatures? Okay. And I'm out of mana. Well, I ran out of mana. I just want to get 10 permanents out so I can sacrifice them all to Bolas's Citadel. Nice raptor you got there. A cool goose, too. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Bloodghast goes straight into the graveyard. so I can bring it back. Diabolic Intent. Trying to think if I just swing with everything here. Everything except for the zombie, I think. Yeah, everything but the zombie goes in. One of these will die to the raptor, and that's fine. Draw that card off the top. That's 2 mana. That's 2 mana. Okay, so now we have enough to deal 10. What I need is some sort of like a drain effect. I'm trying to see if I'll have enough mana for it. Because it would be 4 and then another 4. Darn. Yeah, I don't quite have enough. So maybe I'll just play Laughing Dash for Flint. I have a couple of rogues, warlocks. This is a rogue, this is a warlock. Here's a Tali! Yeah, I was hoping for like a Blood Artist or Meat Hook Massacre. Any of those would be good. If they go for Cityscape Leveler here, destroying Bolus's Citadel, that puts me in a tricky spot. Are they gonna hit Jess for Flint? Wait, how come you get my Meat Hook Massacre? I wanted my Meat Hook Massacre! Oh, I was so close to finding it! Oh, they're hitting Prosper. Okay, that's fair. X equals 0. Now, if their creatures die, I will lose a life. This is not the normal version of Meat Hook Massacre, so I don't have to worry about the life gain. So we still have the 10 damage, by the way, off this sacrifice. I lose a life. I'm down to 2. Yes, I have been paying a lot of life. What else is new? Chandra. Chandra's 2 damage. Priest is 2 damage. Bloodghast, reassembling skeleton. I went for those 2 because they're not actually casting spells. That puts me at 1. We bring you back. We play a land, which brings back the Bloodghast. We play Chandra. We plus the Chandra. We do not cast this thing. And then we sacrifice 10 permanents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they die, because they can't eat their food. They don't have enough mana. Always had it. Mythweaver Hawk. He's still a menace. Mythweaver Hawk doubles up a land when it enters the battlefield. And if multiple lands enter the battlefield at the same time, you get copies of all of them. Hawk, why are you like this? Why are you only 4 mana? And why do you get bigger based on the number of lands in play? They go first. They're probably going to start with some Brighton early ramp. And though I have some nice single target removal, I can't actually play it on turn 2. Not the hand I want to keep. Mulligan. I'll keep it. Hopefully I can just, like, fly over Pawk to win this game using Rakdos. Aftermath Analyst. That's a way for them to bring lots of lands into play at the same time, which is why we have to murder it. Do I want to discard any of these? Nah. So the good news is they didn't ramp on turn 1 or turn 2. They were setting up for this Aftermath Analyst. 3 mana now, and an Altar of Dementia. I have noticed this gets played in more versions of Hawk now that CGB has released a video that had Altar of Dementia. Altar of Dementia with Hawk is a pretty nice inclusion. You have this crazy high power creature that you can just keep recurring. And if your opponent uses a pacify effect or similar that removes abilities from him, turns him into like a 1/1, a legitimate business person, it gives you a way to sacrifice it. Looks like they discarded a land there. Notably, they did not play a land. They didn't get the double. So I'm going to swing him with Rankle, and we're going to have a little bit of mutual destruction here. I will discard, and we will both sacrifice. And I am going to discard the Thought Distortion. The altar can also shut off the Ashaya Pock loop. Cool. Got rid of their big X-cost tutor. Cultivating. I get them more lands so they can play Hawk next turn again. I like playing Rakdos here. Or Angrath. I think that they're both good. I'm going to start with Angrath, with the intent of, I want to attack their hand to make it less likely to get anything out of Hawk. And then we have Rakdos next turn so we can steal Hawk and sacrifice it. Hi, Hawk! We play the Rakdos. We borrow Hawk while we have a Hawk under our control. I would love 2 mountains, thank you very much. I'll attack for 7. And then I'm going to sacrifice it to Rakdos. And I'm going to steal from them. Actually, from me, I'm probably more likely to get something that costs 2. It doesn't matter. We still win. GG. Zurgo, Helm Smasher! He's indestructible on your turn. And, well, he's gotta go fast. Oftentimes, Zurgo has a bunch of Voltron, great equipment, and board wipes, because he's indestructible on your turn. Zurgo also gets bigger and badder and nastier to deal with the more creatures that die due to blocking him. Oh, they're ramping up. Yeah, he does cost 5 mana. I built a Zurgo deck. It's pretty fun. Get out of Bitter Blossom. Yeah, if their deck is a Voltron deck, something like Liliana should be very strong. Just force them to sacrifice the Zurgo. Pander's Wake. And throw this down tapped. I don't really need the not dead after all, with the Fairy Rogue as my only creature. They've got enough mana to play Zurgo, and also 2 extra. Wonder if they'll go for it. Why are you sacrificing the treasures? Okay, I thought it might have been a farewell with that. What do I want? Asylum Visitor, Bones, or Horde Robber? Go for Asylum Visitor. So they've set me back a little bit. That's just fine. Maybe Prosper? I could hold up that Edict. I have the Asylum Visitor. I could still play it. I'll play Prosper. Prosper's nice with Rakdos because, you know, the cards worth stealing or taking from our own library are all in exile. Phyrexian Arena, neat. We have a 3rd Edict effect in hand. That is almost all of the Edicts in our entire library. probably grab the Shock or Surveil land here. Very good. And Rakdos. Some cards that are commander only are in Arena. Grim Tutor. What do you think they're gonna search for? Is it a land because they only have 4? Yeah, the Plague Crafters and similar are especially good in this deck because if you choose to sacrifice them, you get the 3 cards. I can also even, just because I have so many Edict effects, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing Plague Crafter and making them discard. Ooh, that is a Thought Distortion, though. I'm kind of a sucker for Thought Distortion. Hey, what do you have in your hand? Also, follow up. Are they all non-creatures? Wow, they were all non-creatures. Oh no, I think you mean oh yeah. So what I'm going to do is not dead after all. Or sacrifice, because I can make him indestructible. It's just a matter of, like, do I care about keeping this alive, or do I care about keeping this alive? Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths. A great source of value in Dimir colors. When Atris enters the battlefield, you get to... Is it fact or fiction with your opponent? Rad. Here's a Liliana on turn 1. Listen, sometimes you get a Dark Ritual and you want to use it. I'll run out of cards in hand, I think way before they will. I imagine their deck has a lot of, like, sacrifice, kill, and card draw and counterspell. Whee!
Don't overthink things.
Cruelty of Gix. Old Steelheart. Good lord, they're ramping! And Liliana is able to ult next turn.
I'm tired of your secrets.
You know you want to take me home to the top deck city. Rat! I have a choice here. The choice is like, do I want to just keep plussing? Now let's just do the ult. Okay. We are going to target player, and we are going to give them a choice between a rat, their heart, and a swamp, or the 2 lands. Yeah, that's on blue. Yeah. So you choose which pile you sacrifice. So they chose the two lands. Top deck engage. Turbo Rat. Whee! Priest of Forgotten Gods. 1 more mana, and they will be able to get a bunch of card advantage. Bloodstained Mire. They have the 4. I discarded my 4th land. Rakdos crimes are strong. That's all I know in this world. I could have also, like, just made them sacrifice the rat. Teehee. I think they'll always take the 2 face down card. Why does one have a normal back? That's not right. Yeah, right? That's weird. I don't know what I want to hit in your graveyard. You're your Lord Skitter! Judge, I don't know what's happening. Judge my opponents using marked sleeves. Oh, hey, Vraska. You gonna turn my priest into a treasure? I could try to use her in response here, but I'd rather keep these two alive. It's Prosper! Yum, yum, yum. You block there so you can recast Atraxa to get more value. A land! A land! It also could be board wipe time. See what Vraska draws off her not a plus ability. Her 0 ability that proliferates. No, don't kill Prosper. Please. I'm using him for card advantage. They stole Fizzy Lifting Prosper. This is a tragedy of untold proportions. I was gonna have a treasure, Prosper. We were gonna have treasures together. Oh, listen, I can't blame them. I also do crime. I also, like, decided to start this game with violence with the turn 1 Liliana just like, yeah, get out of here. Remember when they had 2 lands? Yeah, I remember. They did a much better job drawing lands than me. Ooh, Thoughtstring Analyst. Yeah, that's crime. It's very funny crime, too. Thoughtstring Analyst is one of those cards that whenever my opponent plays it, they just take lands from me, and it enables them to win the game. Whenever I play Thoughtstring Analyst, I hit, like, Ulamog and die. Hey, Thoughtstring Analyst. It is extra good with Prosper, though. Hi, Atraxa! I just hate Tomedy Infinite. That's why I was like, I really don't want you to have that. Here, play the Agent. It'll let you steal even more cards off the top and get even more treasures. Is this an Atraxa crime deck, by the way? Because it's starting to feel like it. Okay, I was gonna play Virtue of Persistence, but I can't not go for the Citadel. I have to play and pay all of my life. I love Bolas the Citadel so much. Gotta be one of my favorite cards of all time. Absolutely one of my favorites. I'll hit the Agent. They sacrifice the Vraska. Or I'll sacrifice a red. I don't know. That's probably gonna be useful. Okay, Atraxa, life number go down. Still haven't hit a land yet. Yes! Blood Artist! Alright, there's a land. And there's another land. And how many permanents do I have to sacrifice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was a good turn. Thank you. They tapped out. Well, I guess they had 1 mana, but it wasn't enough to counter this. We had a Citadel. Don't touch it. Key to the Archive gives them a chance at finding removal for it. These colors have some destroy anything or steal anything. But the key to the Archive, especially because they have treasures, could get them Cross and Grip, V-Spark, either of those would... Or Putrefy, because it is an artifact. All 3 of those would be able to take out Bolus of Citadel. Don't touch the building! They'll do me one better! They're stealing the Citadel! Atris, I like the cut of your jib. This guy gets it. I know! First they steal the Prosper and then they steal the Citadel! No, my Sheoldred! She was gonna flip over. Aww. I wanted her to do a flip. Well, shoot. I guess I work for you now. We'll draw and discard. They're trying to move cards off the top of their deck to look for good crime to do. By the way, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sacrificables. If they can get to 10, they can kill me. Actually, they can't sacrifice 3 creatures for it. Wait, what? 6. Why would you name 6? I'm gonna drop that Thought Distortion. Are we being sniped? Yeah. No, Rakdos is 5. Oh, maybe it's for Cruxa? I think it may have been for Cruxa, because the Cruxa was visible. So they're sacrificing the Thought String Analyst there because it's so risky. You want to watch a rat eat a raspberry? I know, the token is so cute. Rats in general are super cute. Okay, here comes Sheoldred. I'm gonna drop the Blood Artist. They do have enough mana to flip this over. And I have plenty of cards in my graveyard. Yep, so they're gonna flippy. Flippy dippy. You make a ninja, or they get attacking and draw. And they can cast off the top of their library, but they only have 3 life left. I feel like Cruxa is the big threat. They have to make sure they have, like, a non-land to discard in their hand. Lightning Bolt? I have Lightning Bolt in my grave. I just exiled it. I'm, like, out here, like, you know, Rakdos would be pretty fun, too. I'm going to have to discard a big discard next turn. Discard 3 and then mill 3. My plan is to Malakir the Cruxa anyway. Because the way my my life total is right now is the Bolus's Citadel will kill me all at once either way. They also have this Liliana here. Remember, all creatures come back under their control for this. Hey, Tris. So, yeah. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's extremely the last turn, yes. I don't think they'd want a minus. It lets them attack in for 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, you're right. It is 10. It is 10 permanents. Do you think that they counted though? They could have also minused and made the ninja. I don't think they see it. I don't think they see the Citadel win.
Putrid, but effective.
I am here to learn.
Ooh, Languish. You gonna do it? You gonna do it now? Yo, let's go. I love that they're winning with my cards. Also, excuse me. Let me just die to my abilities first. You don't get to kill me, I get to kill me. GG, Atris, that was a funny one. Obeka, Splitter of Seconds. Lets you take additional upkeeps, but only if you can deal combat damage with Obeka. This feels like a really good hand. I can attack their hand. I can make them discard. Again, I have Liliana, who makes them discard some more. I think this is going to be an Inquisition onto Thoughtseize, so I can't seize their thoughts. Yeah. Classic move. A classic maneuver. This way they know what's in my hand. This is, by the way, all hand attack. We had Thoughtseize, Cruxa, Liliana, Thought Distortion. Wild. I'll still do this. By the way, if I wanted to, it could be really fun to, like, Atraxa, use the Malakir of Earth, scam them back into play so they have to discard twice. I'm not going for that right now. I really like Atraxa with Liliana, too, since it helps me feed my own graveyard. Ooh, nice. Jadar. Oh. There we go. They're saying good game. Why are we saying good game? Hello? Sorry, I meant to say howdy? Okay, sure. You have another counter spell? Infernal Grasp. Sure. Who says good game on turn 3? Usually Salty Babies. So far, they don't have any upkeeps to double, but they could play something before attacking next turn. Ooh, Forge Fire. I'm gonna drop Liliana and Thought Distortion, because I want to make sure I have another red source for Atraxa. Yes. I am the Obeka gamer. I'm considering using Reanimate on Atraxa just to make them discard. Call the Ring. There's an upkeep. Nice zombie. Yeah, this also gives you card draw if you're willing to pay 2 life. It gets them a lot of good evasion too. I like Obeka with Call of the Ring. Sure. Why are we killing Jadar? She works with Automaton. I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, you just put Jadar in my graveyard for my Automaton. The bigger thing for me right now is I'm trying to decide if I want to do the Automaton play here or Rakdos and sacrifice this. Because I would like to kill the Obeka. I think it's going to be smarter for me to do the Rakdos and sacrifice. Or Phyrexian Tower and sacrifice. Nah. I want to steal. This gives me a backup. Okay, so Disdainful Stroke. They did this anyway. I guess I'll just swing in. Boop. Oh boy, extra upkeeps. I don't have any extra upkeeps to take. I could technically also sacrifice this next turn. They only have 1 card in hand, though. So I would like to reanimate the Atraxa to make them discard whatever the last card is. Because this happens in main phase, like, I could wait until the 3rd trigger goes on the stack and then sacrifice her. But I think attacking their hand works out just fine. And we win the game. GG, Obeka. Yorion, Sky Nomad. Yorion's a big old bird serpent that blinks all your non-land permanents, or as many of them as you'd like to blink. Oftentimes played with many good control pieces, O-ring effects, and anything that you want to re-enter the battlefield. Yorion is super strong, and in a super strong color combo for Brawl. Thankfully, we have some pretty nice stuff in hand. We got Bitter Blossom, we have the Priest, we have a Plague Crafter, and Lightning Bolt. I think that we're going to have to just be very willing to pay as much life as we can this game. So I'm going to play a turn 1 Mountain for this Lightning Bolt. If they play even just like something small like a Spirited Companion, I'm willing to Lightning Bolt it to cut them off from being able to reuse it again. Alright, so they didn't play anything. That's good. I will go for the Bitter Blossom. And they countered it. Yep. Yorion with a Jin-Gitaxias Avatar. Oh yeah, you know that they're going to be running more than the average number of control spells. But will they do any blinking that's not bouncing? There we go, there we go. There's a blinkable. The Elite Spellbinder will exile a card from my hand. Make me pay 2 additional mana if I'd like to cast it. I went for Fable. Fable to Babel. Take that out before it's blinkable. Play the Priest of Forgotten Gods. Looking at my graveyard. Why are you looking at that? They curse. Don't curse my Rakdos. I barely get to play him. Curse the Bloodghast. Curse the Fable again. You hate Fable of the Mirror Breaker. They did, in fact, not name Rakdos. Sorry. Here's a Bloodghast. Counter it. Counter it. Yeah, I think they realized, like, wait a minute. If I counter it, they just bring it back. Sure do. Priest of Forgotten God swings in for 1. Hi, Matt. That in the chat. Gast likes the yard. Yeah, I could just bring it back for free. Boop. Oh boy, now I have 2 creatures, so I could activate the Priest if I wanted to. They sure ain't playing stuff, huh? I'll drop the Mountain. I do like the Sanguine Brushstroke in this situation. I also like this Acquisitions Expert. Start by swinging in with these 2. Show me your secrets. Please show me your secrets. By the way, I have a Cleric and a Rogue, so I'll get to look at 2 of the 4 if this resolves. What you doing? Looking at my really cool cards? Show me 2 of your cards, please. I'm not liking the new expansion. I love how much crime I get to do. So seriously, I love it. Okay, so they have a small counterspell and a big counterspell. I'm gonna hit the big counterspell, and even though there's nothing on their board here, I'm going to sacrifice these 2. I was hoping for a land. I still might get one. I can pay the 3. Oh, you're mana draining? Delightfully devilish. We know that they could no more lives whatever I play next, but I do want to get the Normalize out of their hand, so I am going to do this here. I'm going to throw down Plague Crafter. Yep, and it gets exiled. That was me just trying to get rid of the No More Lies. So you have all the mana. So far, by the way, they have played one Blinkable, and 1, 2, 3, 4 different counterspells have been seen. Yorion, are you sure you didn't mean to be a Teferi deck? Why would you ever build around a theme? Yeah. Like, to me, Yorion as a Blink commander is incredibly powerful. Okay, here we go. Saiba Siphoner can put the Priest back into... No, wait, sorry. I was thinking of the bounce one. Can bring back a spell from your graveyard to hand... Wait. Why is this face down? Oh, because it was the No More Lies they brought back. That was the other card they had in hand. I can pay the 3. Either by using this or that. Yes, I have it bringing back a counter spell. No More Lives is a very good counter spell. I'm a little surprised they didn't go for Mana Drain, but I think it may have just been a mana thing. Because they have to pay 2 blue, and then they couldn't hold up 2 more blue. Okay, Soul Herder will blink this each turn. I can kill both of these before end step. I think it's worth it. So, like, no... No, the things they currently have, we let them have 1 turn here. Just because our next turn gets so nasty tasty. Like, all I need is abilities. Hey, Soken-san. That's an ability. Why wait? Just decline them having blockers. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Yeah, you can counter all the spells you want. I don't have spells. I have abilities. That's true. Curse of Silence is a blinkable card, sort of. They could have done something like name Fable the Mirror Breaker and then blinked it after I paid the extra mana to cast it to name Rakdos. So they just tapped out, which is great for me because I have a Yorion. I brought it from home. GG. Tovalord, Dire, Overlord! These werewolves are aggressive! So I'm gonna keep this hand that has lots of removal in it so I can hopefully survive the onslaught of Awoos! Whenever a wolf or werewolf hits me with Tovalord out, they draw a card, getting them even more Awoos. And if they have 3 or more wolves or werewolves out at the start of their turn, it becomes nighttime and they can transform a myriad of their werewolves. Hi, Rahilda. Hi, Rahilda. Once upon a time, there was them getting a 3rd land. Ghost Rider. I could do the Steal and Sacrifice with the Akroan War. Or we could win the game because we had one kill spell. Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. Oh, and it's our good friend Sukiyaki. Hi, Atraxa. How are you going to be proliferating today? I imagine that this deck is Super Friends, but I don't actually remember. Sukiyaki is the person who I'm most familiar with playing John Arenicus. But you know, I'm happy to see you moving outside of your favorite commander and playing some Atraxa. Play that as a land. I want to play the Woe Strider this turn to keep ramping. With a Woe Strider. Were they Super Friends last time? Sounds right. That sounds right. I think Sukiyaki at this point is just like part of the channel's lore. Like, oh yes. We all know. We've heard tale of Sukiyaki. Dark Ritual into the Signet. Into Rakdos. Squashed. I think I'm gonna leave it in the graveyard for the reanimate though. Is that too risky? Nah, it's fine. Here comes Atraxa. So that means, yeah, I'm safe to do the reanimate. Nothing to proliferate. Bloodstained Mire. Crack that open first. I'm not going to bother with the shock. We're going to use Rakdos, bring him out. Angrath, we're going to borrow Atraxa. And I want to wait for Atraxa's ability to go on the stack. So I can proliferate my, my Angrath. These cards will just be gone forever, because there's nothing I'll be able to cast here. Sure, land is good. Nice. Oh, wait, is it until beginning of the next end step? Oh, it's just until your next end step. Cool. Yeah, it's just until the next end step. So since we did this in end step, we get to keep these cards. Rad. Good taste in Swords to Plowshares art. I do love the Swords Yargle. Sorry, so Supreme Verdict. I will sacrifice the Woe Strider. I could have also sacrificed it to Scribe, but we already know what's on top. To steal an additional 3 cards off the top of their deck. Rakdos lives. Wait, we should start with the Explore. This. Explore. So we play the additional land. Duress. Oh, I could have also played the Plains. Casualties of War, for sure. Plus to make them discard. Kindling Phoenix. I'll swing in for 6. It was also the Yargle Explorer. Yeah. And this way, if they go to try and exile something, we can sacrifice it in response with the Phyrexian Tower. So I'm going to do 2 things here. I'm actually going to first sacrifice the Rekindling Phoenix to steal 4, because they don't have additional removal, I'm pretty sure. And then I will... Hold up. Okay, this is not what I was going to do. But I got this Tail's End. We have 2 damage off Angrath, 6 off this. Yeah, we got a Tail's End. Like, yeah, I had to kill my bird for it, but I get to win with my commander. GG, Atraxa. Also, nice to see you, Sukiyaki. Anaya's the Gale Force lets us swap around our creatures by attacking in with lots of flyers. This hand does have 2 colors of mana. It's got some nice low-cost spells, but I'm gonna throw this back. Alright, 4 mana, I'll keep this. Hi, Anaya's. It's probably just gonna be lots of birds. Birds and then giving me terrible birds to take my best stuff. Monkey! Behold. Turn 1 Ragavan that I top decked. Swinging in with the Ragavan. Getting ourselves a treasure. Goggles of Night. Nice. I'm thinking either the Signet or the Fable here. I'm gonna go for the Fable. See if this gets countered. Oh, I just noticed that my opponent is just Monica. And it will always be Monica. Warden of Eos Isle discounts all of their flyers by 1. I will discard nothing because I like all of these cards. Throwing in a land. Swinging in with these 2. They got a hit. Let's see what we steal. Oh, the Fire of Dreams. Oh gosh, this is a real. Yeah, you know what? I know what I like. Doing crime. I wonder if they'll end up stealing this back. Elite Spellbinder for only 2 mana. They get to tax something in my hand. I went for the super recurable bird. Oh, and Linvala, who can give indestructible or hexproof. I wonder if I attack in if they'd like block and block. It doesn't matter, I want to attack in. Wonder if they'll go to steal my commander. Because they can play Inaya's. Swing in with all 3 to steal Rakdos. I got the Bloodstained Mire. Sacrifice it. A Swamp. Make a clone of the Defiler of Dreams. Attack with the Defiler of Dreams. Actually, I don't really want to attack with it. Leave it back. My plan was to sacrifice it to Braids. Sacrifice the Defiler clone. And I will steal 5 cards off their deck. Yum, 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 yum. Alright, we got Mistway Spy, Island, Redan, Castle Vantress, Mana Confluence. Ornithopter? Oh, so this is the garbage that they want to trade with me. Hell yeah, let's go! I assume they're gonna go Ornithopter for Rakdos. Nice. Now they're stealing from me. If only we stole more blue permanents, because I get the Doug Dubba discount. Alright, so I want it regular. So I draw some cards. It's just so funny to, like, steal lands to me. Pitiless Plunderer. I'm going to attack with the Goblin and the Defiler. This will let them get more impulse draw. I didn't draw, I need a little stuff I really wanted, though. So, do I want to exile Rakdos or hit their commander? I'll exile Rakdos. Would you like to abrade something? Okay, I can't Malakir Rebirth that because it would go back under their control. And I will sacrifice the Mistway Spy. You want Aniyas to be able to steal lands? No! Okay, this is a swing with all of these. Do you take Reflection of Kiki Jiki? Oh, swapsies! They have enough mana to give +1/+1, so I still block the Elite Spellbinder here. Drawing 2 cards. Being asked, what is older, Antiquities or Amazonian? Like the set Antiquities? I am older. I am slightly older than Magic the Gathering. I'll sacrifice this island. And then I'm gonna get really silly. Aww. Fine, I can only get regular silly. I'm an Antiquity as well. Get off of my lawn, you dang kids! Please block. Yes. All right, Malakir Rebirth. Everybody dies. Especially you. What can I bring back up the Forge Fire Automaton? Something. Probably. I can bring back Ragavan with the Forge Fire Automaton. Spyglass Siren makes a map. Poor Playcrafter died 3 times. Well, one of those was just a reflection. Hello, yes. Mob Rider Cavalry makes creatures get +1/+1. Cool. This is just me trying to get more treasures so I can also get Rakdos crimes. It's working. Rakdos Theater. Oh, I love Laughing Jasper's Flint. Right, so this is a 4-drop that gets sacrificed, so we'll steal the top 4 cards of their deck. Oh, cool. All right, we got Malcolm, Hushbringer, Siren Stormtamer. The Black Lotus! That was because they played Oracle of the Alpha. Boom. And now we got a Malcolm. We also have a 6/5 with Trample that can attack in. I guess I make a clone of somebody who's not a legend. Wait a minute. I can give Pseudo Haste to something. I will clone the Priest of Forgotten Gods. And she will sacrifice her own mirror image. We steal. Obviously, we steal. We always steal. And now we just swing in. She gives herself +1/+1. Wait. Oh, it's attacking creatures with flying! It gives my creatures +1/+1. You know, I always just thought it was give your creatures with flying +1/+1 until end of turn. Maybe I should, like, read the card. It would explain the card. GG, Anayas. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I hope you had fun stealing and sacrificing and, well, stealing some more with Rakdos the Muscle. I think that this is a very cool card, but just like the nature of historic Brawl means oftentimes you won't actually get to play Rakdos. Thankfully, Rakdos Sacrifice, Rakdos the color's not the guy, is still a very, very strong color pair since you have access to good discard, you have access to good removal, good tempo in the form of things like Priest of the Forgotten Gods, and it's also really fun to get to play. If you're looking for my deck list, it is in the description of the video, and if you'd like to suggest a commander for me to play, go ahead, put it in the comments. This was a suggested commander, and we've had a lot of other new commanders suggested. Some of them I haven't gotten to yet. I've been letting my chat vote on them. By the way, you should always come by twitch.tv/Amazonian. It's my main channel. It's where I stream Magic like all day, every day. I've also been playing a lot of Minecraft with another streamer, Voxy. She and I were Minecraft masters. Okay, that's not true at all, but we have a really cute house that we built together, and only a couple times have we been exploded by creepers. It's only happened a few times. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.